Hello. Hi. How's everything? I think I might need an adjustment. Hi there. Yeah, my name's Bruce. Thank you for watching. This is my channel. Yeah, wait a second. First, if you could do me a big favor and subscribe. I like it when people subscribe. It's practically my sole reward for making these videos, other than the kind of the edification, the raison d'etre, the reason I do it anyway. If you subscribe, I feel better. And if you follow along, you know that I've done a bunch of weird stuff in my life, some of it weird, some of it not weird. But lately, one of the things that I do on occasion is I get invited by universities to give little talks on construction things. Okay, I have some experience with construction, with some outrageously large projects and some small projects and some projects I'm proud of and some projects that we got action going on here. It's a train. We'll take a train pause. It's a train pause. Train pause. Anyway, construction. So I get invited to the universities and the classes. Generally they're MBA students and they're learning about real estate finance or finance in general and such. And so just to give a toe in the water or a taste of reality, I get invited by the dean or the professor and have a little take for an hour or an hour and a half, and I make a small presentation, then we have a discussion. That's it. Now, in these discussions I say, oh, I have a slide. The slide says there's 2 rules in construction. Now, you construction people, you're gonna say, that guy's crazy. There's more than 2 rules, or there's no rules, or he's wrong, and that's great. Please leave a comment. I love comments. My favorite ones are the ones where you tell me how wrong I am. Anyway, so I say there's 2 rules. Rule number 1, might sound like a joke, but serious, don't kill anybody. So if you wake up and you're not sure what you should do that day, and you're the construction manager, the project manager, the designer, the supervisor of the crew, your real objective is to not have an injury, to not have a fatality. And the reason for this is just because of the tremendous expense. I mean, well, you don't want to do it anyway, but the impact on cost and timeline of an injury or of a fatality is boggling. It is dramatically more than, hey, well, it's less expensive if we just use a ladder, or it's less expensive if we do this, it'll be faster if we do that. You say, no, the real objective here is a workplace and a project that does not have a single injury. That's your overriding goal. Rule number 1. Rule number 2 is, and this may seem patently obvious, but rule number 2 is do not run out of money. Okay? So if you're commencing on your project and your box of money is this big, and your project size is this big, then, well, you might run out of money. So if your project size is this big and your money box is this big, you're probably going to be fine. But the real objective is don't run out of money. And the good way to not run out of money is, 1, is don't have an injury, and 2 is make sure that your project sits within the scope of reality. And listen to people that have experience, because a lot of people embarking on projects think that they have magic power, and that although something cost $100 the last 100 times it was built, and magically they can do it for 20 bucks. And that is a successful 0% of the time, okay? And that's it. Well, oh, now, in the province here where I reside, province of Ontario, you have to remember that I don't actually reside here. That's where I am. We're in Canada. So Canada is similar to the United States, but it's not the same as the United States. Canada is similar to Australia, similar to Europe, similar to all kinds of places, but not the same. In Canada, the person that has the most control in terms of governance and your life, and remember, if you go back, these videos tend to be about economics and public policy. The person that has the most control over your life is the Premier of the province. And the Premier of the province has a bit of a track record of subways, subways, subways. It's practically a family motto. And if you go back in some of my other videos, I can explain why, although subways may make sense sometimes, they don't make sense all the time, and they certainly don't make sense in a lot of the areas around here that subways are being constructed. There you go, this idea of that. However, these projects will succeed and they will be completed eventually. I was speaking with some of the construction guys, and we're kind of taking, not bets, but we're flipping a coin in the air to say, hey, when do you think this thing's going to be finished? And one guy said, I don't know, 10 years. Another guy said 20 years. Another guy said 40 years. Well, maybe 40 is a stretch, but 20 is more on the money. And then we talked about budget. Now, if you've been following the videos, you know I've said repeatedly that a government that has progressive taxation, like the government of a province, the government of a US state, the government of a country, doesn't spend money in the same way that a private enterprise or your household does. It's not the same at all. So the chances of running out of money in the province of Ontario for a provincial project is zero. It's not going to happen. It'll be embarrassing. There'll be news stories written about it, but the likelihood of the project simply coming to a grinding halt due to budget is not going to happen. All right, anyway, and I'm going to put up some video that shows you some of the things you should not do when you're building. Hopefully I'll track that down and you'll find it exciting. But remember, if you're building stuff, it might be fun to watch people build stuff on YouTube, and they do all kinds of crazy things, and things seem to take really quick, or the guys are making videos, same like me. Well, kind of the same like me. I mean, the likelihood of this channel being a source of income is similarly, I think, zero. Anyway, but I hope that you find it a modest source of entertainment. I thought that I would do an addendum or a preface. I'm going to preface this video by saying, well, please subscribe, but really, if you're thinking about building a new nuclear plant, don't do that. It's not a good idea. There's lots of better ways to get electricity that will wind up being in single-digit percentages of what the new nuclear plant will cost. And the people that are advocating nuclear plants, there's usually a massive vested interest, meaning their father was a nuclear plant person, their grandfather, their grandmother, their second aunt on third times removed was a nuclear plant person. But if you're a public person and you're thinking about building a new nuclear plant, don't. That's it. Oh, hope you enjoy the video, or hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.